Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tribe Day. Today, I'd like to dedicate to my tribe of people in my life that really have got my back. And I have several different tribes, believe it or not. I have friends who are in my tribe. I have people who are also friends in my tribe based around business who understand where I'm at in my life, what I'm doing, what my focus is and who uplift and encourage and support me there. And then just family members even are a part of my tribe, people who are really close to me. Now, just so you know, family doesn't have to mean blood relatives. I'm going to take this off. Does not mean blood relatives always. You can make your family just because you were born into a family does not mean that people who you meet over your lifetime cannot become like family to you, wherein they become family members. You call them family, and that is how it is. And that's important just to know that, because sometimes people are without family, that don't have their parents, that don't have siblings, and so their friends and colleagues, people that they meet over their lifetime, become their family. So family can be what you make it. So today I want to talk to you about how your attitude can make or break your day. Good morning. My name is Leslie Cadet. I'm an empowerment coach. I help my clients achieve self-awareness so that they can handle their triggers, manage their emotions, and get back to living a more positive life, because that's what it's all about, right? Now, as you can see, the title is Your Attitude Can Make or Break Your Day. Attitude matters. It really does, because it's not just willpower that drives your actions, it's your attitude. So even if you get emotionally charged, emotionally triggered, it's not just your emotions driving your attitude, it is your feelings. Your attitude determines both your simplest and your most complicated of actions that you take, from the way you carry yourself to the way that you deal with hard times, hard things that happen in your life. Your attitude is so powerful that people can sense who you are and how you are, how you're feeling, like without you even saying one word. So they can determine, they can sense who you are as a person by your attitude and how you're feeling without you saying one word. And you're asking, well, how can they do that? Through your body language. Body language speaks volumes. The thing about attitude, though, is that it can change, and change fast. Why? Because of our feelings. For example, a good mood can change just like that if something happens to change everything. If you're tired, you just don't feel like doing anything. So here's an example. Yesterday, okay, let's go back a few. I was traveling on Friday, and I went away on a one-day trip, but I flew to California, and on Saturday morning I flew back. Now, I'm not really a huge traveler. I'd love to travel more, and that is going to be part of something coming up that I'm going to start doing more of, because it's something that I've always wanted to do, and I figure if I'm not going to make myself do it, who is? Anyways, getting back to that is, I didn't really feel good when I got back, so I realized where I sat in the plane. Now I got upgraded to first class, pretty much. And I got upgraded, and I thought, well, you know what? Okay, this is cool. I like it. But I didn't really like it so much when we were landing. It's just the way the plane is like at that level. And I realized why I've always chosen to fly right by the wing or behind the wings of the plane. And the reason for that is because I feel like when we take off and when we land, we're more level. At least I feel that way. And so I was getting motion sickness, and believe it or not, I felt really jet lagged on Saturday, and I was immobile for most of the day. Like, I could not move. I did not feel well. And so I didn't feel like doing anything. Not only was I tired, I was also just feeling jet lagged and not good. And so then fast forward, Sunday's great. I had a fabulous day with my husband. We did something with our dog. We just spent some family time. And then yesterday, I was just not motivated at all. I didn't get in my morning routine, which is super key for me setting up my day on how I feel, going forward with my life every day. And guess what? I really felt it. Like, I really felt it. If I don't get in my morning routine, I feel it. It's just a habit that I've formed that makes me feel good about me. It sets me up, gets my mindset in the right frame of mind, and it sets me up for my day. And so, as I said, I felt really tired and drained and jet lagged from my travels for real. And then it just kind of circulated into Monday, and it just wasn't a really good day for me when it came to just getting things done. I just was not motivated. And so I really felt it, and I realized when I started thinking about it, oh yeah, I forgot my morning routine. When I don't do that, I mean, I still got in my run, but when I didn't do everything else, like my meditation and my affirmations and all of that stuff, if I don't get that in, I'm not setting myself up, and I can feel it. So how do you deal with attitude if it's constantly open to changing? Because again, it does change at a moment's notice. Number one, be open and accepting of change, because that's important. I know that it's hard, especially if you've been set in your ways for so long, but if you're not open to change, you're always going to be resistant to change. You're going to find your life isn't going to go the way you want it. And no matter, even if you try, you're not going to be able to stop change, but you're just not going to be able to navigate your life, and you're not going to feel happy about it because you're resistant to change. So be open and accepting of change. Number two, be open to pivoting, because, sometimes with change comes a pivot. And so maybe you're doing something one way and now something else changes. Another example I can give you is when I was working in law offices, and the dynamic used to be around, like I would work as a 2-on-1. So I'd be the assistant, the paralegal assistant to 2 lawyers. And then things started changing where I got moved from working with someone who I was working closely with. And we ended up being separated, and they changed assistants, and I got moved to someone else, and it was very unhappy, and then ended up getting moved back. But from that, I learned that being open to change, regardless of how I felt about it, if I didn't like it, allowed me just to be open to learning about myself and maybe seeing something new, something positive, so that, showing that I was a team player and being in that. And so eventually we got moved back to the dynamic that we were used to, and it worked out. But I was open to pivoting, allowed myself to just embrace the change, and I was able to get through that. And so that's part of our attitude, right? So maybe you have something that you wanted to do today, and maybe you're just not feeling it. The piece of the puzzle is in you to discover the source of your attitude, right? To understand what's at the heart of how you're feeling and what you believe is the key to achieving what you want in your life. It comes down to how you see yourself in the world. So I suggest that you ask yourself these questions about your attitude. So ask yourself, what is the source of my attitude? In other words, why are you feeling a certain way based around something that happened? What affected you to change your attitude? Do I have a basic understanding of how my attitude affects my energy and how I feel about myself and present myself to others? So, and then last question is, what can I do to change my attitude or to help me shift my attitude? You can't just stop being negative at a drop of a hat, because it takes you realizing that in order for you to stop being negative, you have to replace your negative thoughts, your feelings, with positive ones. Some people might say that negative situations are a fact of life and that they'll always happen at some point in your day. However, it's important to note that negative situations are always they're saying that negative situations are always presenting themselves, but it's important to note that it's not really negative situations that are presenting themselves. It's situations or triggers, as I like to call them, that are presenting themselves, that are a reality of our lives. This is what I call the triggers chart. So triggers being things like, the anniversary date of loss or trauma, frightening news events. So things, happen in our lives. We have a lot of anniversary dates of frightening news events, but we also have new things that happen every day on a regular basis, unfortunately, a lot of negativity. Maybe you have too much to do, you feel overwhelmed. Judge, tease, criticize, put down, things like that, you know, financial issues. So those are triggers, right? And so again, it's not so much that there's negative situations presenting themselves daily. It's just situations or triggers, as I like to call them, that present themselves daily, and it's how we react and respond emotionally to those triggers, okay? That's why it's important for you to learn to spot your triggers or triggers in general, so that you can become more mindful around your emotions, because it's your attitude and your feelings that will make a situation positive or negative. So when you become more mindful around your emotions and how you emotionally respond to your triggers, you become more in control of your reactions and your responses that you take based on how you're feeling because you were triggered by something. And now triggers, they fuel our emotions, okay? And so our emotions, they then take over and drive our responses, our actions. And then our actions is what provide us with our rewards. So the byproduct of our responses, right? The rewards can be positive or negative. Negative mean guilt, shame, and regret. Maybe you say and do something you don't mean to do or say, and now you regret it. And then you're left with guilt, shame over it, and you're trying to figure out how to make it better, like how to fix it. Or it can be positive because then you've learned to spot your triggers. You've learned how you emotionally respond to something, and you can stop yourself mid-reaction, mid-response, because you're aware of that, and you can then think about, how am I going to deal with this today? It does take work, yes, but you're a better person for it if you are more aware of what you're doing. Because guess what? No one else has the power to give away control around how you emotionally respond to something except you. Only you have control over that. You have control over your emotions. You don't have control over your triggers, but you have control over your emotions. But if you don't have control over your emotions, then you don't have control over your responses. And if you don't have control over your responses, then you do not have control over whether it's a positive or negative reward, right? You just don't. So you take control of your attitude and shift your mindset. And ultimately, you can take back control of how you react and respond when you are emotionally triggered. It takes time and dedication to do that, of course. But ask yourself this, are you willing and are you ready to treat yourself with that respect? Because you are worth it, you know? But you must believe that in order for you to do what it takes to achieve your own self-awareness around your triggers. Now that's why I started my group called Manage Your Triggers. It's called Manage Your Triggers VIP Academy. And the reason why I started that was so that people could come together in a place where we can not only feel that we're no longer alone in how we deal with our triggers and how we deal by our emotional responses and the actions that we take, but it's a place where you get community, so that this is where you are with like-minded people who are going through the same thing as you, but who are ready to level up their mindset based around their emotions so that they learn self-awareness, so they can handle those triggers, learn to spot their own triggers, to understand what triggers are in general, to understand that there are triggers for our triggers, and to understand that if they can learn to spot their own triggers, then they can learn to spot how they emotionally respond to those triggers, and then stop themselves and learn how to be able to take control of their emotions, so they have better reactions, better responses to those things that they're triggered by their feelings, and then their reward system, which is what's important here, becomes more positive, right, rather than negative. So then as part of that, and then of course, as I said, part of that community is uplifting and supporting and encouraging one another. When you're a part of something where you feel like you're not alone, that you're in it together, it really makes it a lot easier to be able to go through something, right? Now, if you'd like to join, I've put the link there. And if maybe you are uncomfortable joining by yourself, well, then ask a friend to join with you. And that way maybe you'll feel more comfortable with somebody that you know going into the group with you. So then you can start becoming part of the community and really taking part in what the community is all about. There will also be accountability, so there'll be some mental coursework. I provide worksheets every week for you to Start doing the simple strategies that I provide for you so that you can start doing the things that you need to do so that are based around learning your self-awareness around your own triggers and your emotions to those triggers. There will be monthly challenges. I'm getting ready to launch that at the end of the month. So it's the last week. I'm thinking it's going to be the last week of every month. And this is where you will be, this is going to be where you're going to participate in a challenge where it's meant to stretch you, your mental comfort zone, get you to step outside of your comfort zone and learn more about who you are and help you to achieve that self-awareness. It takes work to be self-aware. This is going to happen to you every day, no matter what, for the rest of your life. It has been happening to you every day, your entire life, but maybe you've just never been aware of it. But this is something that you're dealing with every day of your life. And it's just, how do you navigate this cycle, which is on repeat every day and sometimes multiple times a day? How do you navigate it? So again, through the expansion of your comfort zone, I'm going to give you challenges that you can really stretch outside of your mental comfort zone. And you will have access to me. I will go live every Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for a live Q&A. You can ask me anything. You're getting the coaching without the coaching prices. Now, I'm not saying coaching isn't good for you, because coaching, definitely, I get coached. I feel like everybody needs either a mentor or a coach in some area of their life. It's just a fact of life. And the reason why I believe it so strongly is because in order to be the best version of me, I make sure that I am leveling up, and that means by accountability through coaching. And so I make sure that I am leveling up in areas that maybe I need to work on so that I can be more effective and provide better value to you, my audience, right? That's my goal, my intention. I have intention behind it. So again, access to me for live Q&A every Thursday. Again, going back to it, you have community, you have accountability through coursework, you have expansion of your comfort zone through monthly challenges, and you have access to me through live Q&A every Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Although if you do have questions while you're part of the group, you can always DM me personally and I will answer any questions that you have. But again, this is a free group. It doesn't cost you anything. But I want you to ask yourself this question: what's it going to cost me if I allow myself to continuously navigate this cycle without allowing myself to really level up and become self-aware around my own triggers so that I have a more positive life, a more positive lifestyle? So what are you going to lose if you don't? Okay, that's what I want you to ask yourself. So again, it doesn't cost you anything. It's free. And then you become part of a community of like-minded individuals so that you can feel like you're not alone, that you're not going through something by yourself, and you can lean on each other, and you can also lean on me. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I just ask that today, if you can help me, just share this video to help me help others, because I'd like to get this message out there and help other people who are going through what they are going through. You never know. Someone in your life today may need to hear this message, and by you sharing this video, you are helping them. So I hope this was helpful for you. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you navigate today with an attitude of gratitude, because with the right attitude, you will have the right mindset to deal with whatever life decides to throw at you today, whatever triggers come your way. It may not be easy, but at least if you're in the right mindset, it's step number one of at least then getting yourself being more mindful around how you are emotionally responding to those triggers. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Leslie Gaudette. I am an empowerment coach. I help my clients achieve self-awareness by helping them to learn how to handle and spot their own triggers, manage their emotions, and live a more positive life. I hope that you have a great day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.